Revelation 2216. From the 19th of January 1942. Earthly environment, skills and knowledge inconsequential to the maturing of the soul. It is of no importance for the higher development of the soul in which environment it lives through its embodiment on earth. It is also completely irrelevant which earthly abilities the human being possesses and on which level he stands in earthly knowledge. A person can have the highest earthly merits, he can be well versed in all earthly areas and abilities. He can also have a high degree of knowledge, and yet he can be considerably lower spiritually than a person who does not possess all these merits in earthly life and is spiritually very highly developed. Indeed, spiritual maturity is often far more recognizable where all earthly merits are eliminated, for these people are more inwardly and God-connected because their soul work is not impaired by any external influences. It sometimes seems as if a well-shaped soul can only dwell in a well-shaped body, as if truth can only be where wisdom is taught or received, and as if the degree of knowledge depends on the human being's more or less highly developed intellectual thinking, and yet precisely those apparent advantages can be an obstacle which calls the human being's maturing into question. The human being, whose thinking is otherwise sharp and consistent, can represent the greatest error in spiritual matters, but error will never help spiritual progress. Only a life of love can bring such progress, and therefore the human being need not have any worldly recognized merits and can nevertheless stand on a very high spiritual level, because love is inherent in him and only truly elevates the human being. The will to serve God can be just as strongly developed in a person who is earthly very small and lowly, for precisely this will attracts God as eternal love. But this first helps the person or his soul to spiritual maturity, and thus a well-formed soul can develop far sooner in a person who does not divide his attention between spiritual and earthly experience. In a way, he has an easy time of it because he is not so bombarded by external challenges, whereas the worldly person who possesses extraordinary abilities but does not use them for the salvation of his soul can fall far short of that soul. Amen.